On this episode of Cool Stuff, things are getting hot. Real hot.
Whoa! Fire in the hole!
I'm taking the heat to reveal the secrets of firefighting. Discover what's keeping our firemen safe even in an inferno like this. See how to turn a deadly fire trap into a sanctuary from a firestorm.
That was a great drop.
And the upside of heat.
The bad guys usually don't think of hiding their heat.
How cops on a manhunt can flush out criminals from 1,000 feet up. With an infrared camera that reveals all.
Suspect can be armed with a razor-type knife.
The world is full of cool stuff. I'm Steve Truitt.
How come I'm not feeling any heat?
And I want to know how it works. I'll be riding the leading edge of innovation, pulling apart today's hottest technologies, and presenting them in ways you've never imagined. Join me on a journey into the hidden world of cool stuff. In the time it takes to watch this show, fire will carve a path of destruction through the United States. Nearly 90 fires will break out. Close to $30 million in property will be destroyed. And 35 people will be injured or killed. We need better protection, and help is on the way. I'm traveling to a remote fire research lab in Arizona to check out some amazing chemistry that's reducing those shocking statistics. The inventor has set up some tests for me, and he promises to blow me away. Not literally, I hope.
So we're going to take a little bit of Thermo gel, coat a styrofoam cup, one with and one without the styrofoam.
Thermo gel is Steve Simmons' baby. He co-invented it and thinks it will change the way we fight fire. Now, we all know how easy it is to melt styrofoam, right? Check this out.
I can't believe that. How is that working? That's just incredible. That's styrofoam.
It's like hitting a wall of water, and we all know fire can't burn water.
Fire needs 4 things to burn: fuel, oxygen, heat, and chemical reaction. Remove any one of them, and you've killed the fire. A fire hose eliminates 2 of these elements. The water displaces oxygen and absorbs heat. And so does thermogel, but it does it on a microscopic scale with some cool chemistry. Think of it as a molecular wet blanket made from long polymer chains of compounds called surfactants. Short for surface acting agents, surfactants can attract water, meaning they're amphiphilic, but they also repel water. They're hydrophobic. And thermogel needs both of these properties to work. Here's why. The gel blanket is a deep carpet of tiny water balloons. The outside of each balloon pulls water molecules in, so when you add water, the balloons fill up. But inside, the balloon walls are waterproof, so they trap the water until it's needed to fight the fire. Now, as heat from a flame hits the gel, the microscopic balloons start bursting, layer by layer, releasing their water, dousing the flames, and cooling the surface. But there's nothing microscopic about its firefighting punch. Thermogel can withstand more than 3,500 degrees of heat. You can get a better appreciation with these shots from my thermal imaging camera. Blue is cold, red is 1,000 degrees. Thermogel never rises above 100 degrees. I've sunbathed in temperatures higher than that.
It's a little warm, but it's not really warm, and there's just really no damage at all. That's unbelievable. Styrofoam.
Here's another spectacular demonstration of how thermogel stays cool in extreme heat. Soda cans protected and unprotected. You can see that thermogel doesn't just stop the flames, but also the radiant heat that's gonna pop those unprotected cans.
That goes quick, doesn't it? So again, this is showing that even heat doesn't get through this. Now I'm giving it a lot more fire than I gave the other ones, and they're not burning at all.
If only my computer had a firewall this strong.
It's not doing anything, no popping, nothing.
And not only is this stuff easy to apply if fire's coming your way, it lasts for several hours. But here's the kicker. When firemen use fire hoses to fight flames, almost 90% of the water they use is wasted. It just runs down the drain. Thousands of gallons sloshing away with no effect. But with Thermogel's microscopic wet blanket, 1 gallon of water can protect 20 square feet of property.
Oh, it's already foaming up?
See immediately that it's gelling very quickly.
Okay. Do you have to stir it or anything, or is it just mixed?
Well, it's because of the agitation of the water right now, it is grabbing, the polymers inside grabbing that water like super mini sponges.
Steve's got me making a batch of Thermogel for his next demonstration. It'll have to be good to beat what I've seen so far.
And what's the demonstration?
Well, what I'd like you to do is we'll take your hand out and it'll be covered with Thermogel. And if it's okay with you, I'd like to take a torch to it.
You want to light my hand on fire?
So I'll just turn this little flame on for you.
Wow, that's a big flame there.
So we're talking over 1,000 degrees.
1,000 degrees.
And whenever you're ready, you want to hold your hand like this.
All right. Now, are you going to put the flame to my hand, or do I put my hand in the flame?
I'll put.
Do I have any say in this whatsoever?
Absolutely not. I'm running the torch, so.
Okay. Wow, I'm not feeling anything.
This is wild. I've got more than 1,000 degrees hitting my hand, and it's not even as warm as a glove. The water-filled surfactants just stop heat dead.
So what would happen if I didn't have this gel on my hand right now?
We'd be dialing 911 and an ambulance would come and
How
take you to the burn treatment. So,
How serious? Third degree?
Third degree.
Third degree burns?
Third degree because it's over 1,000 degrees here.
Flip on the thermal camera and look. My hand's in a flame, but it's still a cool blue.
That's incredible. I'm literally holding fire in my hand.
It takes a special kind of courage to stand up to a firestorm and try to beat it back. We've seen how a new fireproofing liquid called Thermogel could take some of the heat off firefighters by protecting property before it turns into a raging inferno. But even the most experienced firefighter can get caught in a firestorm and find himself fighting for his life. Well, Thermogel could help here too.
So where are we?
Well, we're in the middle of the Arizona desert, and we've loaded a single engine air tanker. And we have 500 gallons of Thermogel. We dyed it blue because pilots need colorant in it, so when they drop, they can see where they're dropping it.
So, try to imagine this pickup as a fire truck, and I'm a firefighter trapped inside. I've radioed for help, and it's on its way. The idea is to smother my truck in a thick layer of Thermogel so that I can take cover inside until rescuers arrive.
Hey, Danny, it's Steve on the ground. How are you?
Okay, we're setting up downwind.
Wow, he's coming really fast.
Fast and low. Watch
Yikes,
out,
man.
Right on the mark. For the next part of the test, it's back to the lab to torch my truck. With me inside.
The fire's hitting the car right now. You can barely see it, and this window is still cold. There's over 1,000 degrees of temperature. Fire right up against this car, just a few inches away, blasting at this window. This window is still cool. I can't feel anything. Complete protection. This is amazing. I really thought we'd even see it.
So how you doing in there, Steve?
Great. I'm still alive.
Good.
Can I come out?
Fire's out.
All safe?
Everything's safe.
Thermogel has stood up to everything we could blast it with. And in real-life emergencies, it's done the same. It's already saved more than 500 homes in North America and spared dozens of lives. But still, most fire departments don't use thermogel, yet, and firemen are still facing walls of flames every day. I want to know how they do it, how they battle 2,000-degree infernos and live. Their secret is an extraordinary fire-stopping fiber that handles this. To see how it works, I'm going in, risking it all like firemen do in a firestorm. Talk about putting your trust in science. But before that happens, I'm heading into DuPont's top-level fire lab to see the fiber tested by a veteran. This is Thermo Man. He's the fire equivalent of a crash test dummy.
He's a high-temperature resin, and he's got 122 thermal sensors embedded in him.
And each one of those sensors can feel the temperature and say what's going on in that part of the body.
It measures the energy that is applied to it, and from that, we can use our computer to calculate the level of burn injury, whether it be first degree, second degree, or third degree burn injury.
Thermo Man gives scientists the cold, hard facts of fire-retardant clothes, and nobody gets hurt. He's about to get a blast, wearing just a standard cotton jumpsuit.
In the chamber, we have 12 torches, and we have a pilot light for each torch.
What does each torch generate?
In combination, that mannequin is engulfed in a 2,000-degree fireball.
What does that do to the human skin once it burns through?
Human skin will burn instantaneously at 170 degrees Fahrenheit.
Are we ready to do it?
We are.
Ready? Sure. Flame on! Whoa! Fire in the hole!
You feel the heat?
Yeah, it really was hot.
You know, even that's still...
And through that fire protective glass.
And look at the cotton garment.
It's totally on fire.
It's continued to burn.
It's a spectacular reminder of fire's 4 elements: fuel, oxygen, heat, and chemical reaction.
So here you can see the profile of the mannequin, and everywhere that's red, you know, that's a third-degree body burn.
You're looking at what would be fatal burns.
That's why you don't wear flammable materials in a fire.
Right. So, how do firefighters survive this sort of punishment? Well, Thermo Man's gonna show me before I step into the fire myself. He's being dressed in a Nomex suit, developed here in DuPont's fire lab. It's made up of 6 layers of Nomex. These don't just stop the flames, they insulate the body from 2,000-degree heat. Earlier, I saw a fire test dummy in a cotton jumpsuit consumed by a 2,000-degree fireball. But now, Thermo Man has slipped into a Nomex fire suit. Will it protect him the second time around? Oh, man, that heat is so intense. I can't even imagine being in there. So is he hurt? Is he okay?
Well, let's go check out on the profiles. You know, 1% body burn is an excellent level of protection for that level of exposure.
Okay, so if that was a human being in there, and he was subjected to 10 seconds at 2,000 degrees, the worst that's happened to him if he had full headgear was that his arm got a little singed.
Right, and you know, that's a very survivable burn.
Nomex's secret is in its chemistry. It contains a combination of molecules which kills one of the fire's 4 elements, the chemical reaction. Here's how. Nomex fibers are made up of a series of benzene rings. These are strong clumps of carbon atoms which can stop a fire dead. When heat hits Nomex, it carbonizes, which means the carbon repels the flame by shutting down the chemical reaction, so fire can't take hold. Carbonizing also makes the fiber thicker, providing more insulation. In other words, Nomex builds its own barrier against heat. But that was in the lab. Now I'm gonna try it myself. I gotta say, I'm nervous. But I've got someone looking out for me at the Henrico Fire Training Facility in Virginia. This is fire instructor Sean Gregory, and it's good to know that Nomex saved his life.
When I was young in the department, I went to a fairly significant house fire where the room I was in became totally engulfed in fire almost instantaneously, and I was able to escape because the gear helped me out.
We're simulating a major freeway incident. The type of tragedy firefighters face every day. In fact, nearly every minute and a half, there's a motor vehicle fire on U.S. roads. I'm joining firefighters to battle this blaze. My outfit is made from 6 layers of Nomex. But I'm not Thermo Man. No, this is real.
Let's go fight a fire. Let's do it.
Those are tires exploding, and a couple of shock absorbers. Let's go.
Here in the hell of a full-on inferno, there's enough heat, fuel, and oxygen to create a chemical reaction. But the heat-blasted Nomex fibers are carbonizing, shutting down the chemical reaction a fire needs to survive. And I've made it.
Look at my suit. This is where all the stuff burned off, right?
Yeah.
But look, protected totally.
Oh, yeah. See what ran up the side of your coat? Ran right up the side of your coat.
That's right. Now you can use this coat again.
Sure.
It's not destroyed.
No, it's not destroyed
It's
at
in
all.
great shape.
Firefighters aren't the only ones relying on Nomex. Air Force pilots, ground troops, and race car drivers are staying safer too.
Did a great job. I mean, I really didn't feel anything walking through there, which is why it was so bizarre.
Nomex suits protect more than 3 million firefighters around the world. And that makes scientist Rich Young feel good.
Every day that a firefighter is saved in North America, he's wearing Nomex. Guaranteed.
We are literally in the heat of a manhunt, in a police chopper chasing armed suspects into the woods. They're using the thick brush and cover of darkness to elude police. But what they don't realize is that their body heat is about to give them away. And from 1,500 feet above, with the flick of a switch, we can spot them.
The suspect can be armed with a razor-type knife.
This is the all-seeing world of the FLIR camera. FLIR stands for forward-looking infrared. And it's putting the heat on bad guys who are used to a quick getaway. It's a revolution in policing, and it all started here at FLIR HQ in Boston, Massachusetts. Infrared photography can blow your mind. This is scientist Bob Matting's party trick.
Hey, Bob.
So take a look at me and make sure you got good focus.
All right, let me focus you in there. Okay, I can see you.
Okay, I'm going to disappear behind this black trash bag.
All right. That's amazing. That is so cool.
I used this handheld FLIR to capture those infrared images you saw earlier in the show. It's as simple to use as any handy cam. FLIR works because of a fundamental principle of physics. Everything in our universe radiates heat. The amount a body radiates is proportional to the 4th power of its temperature. In other words, the warmer a body, the more radiant heat. Radiant heat is what FLIR is recording when it sees the world. And FLIR's world is pretty cool.
All right, welcome to...
That's so neat. It stays there quite a while, doesn't it? That is so funky.
FLIR is so sensitive, it's picking up the tiny traces of heat Bob's finger left on the colder wall.
It's still really warm, too. Mm-hmm. That is incredible. Cool stuff.
So, how does FLIR work? Pretty much the same as a normal video camera. Except instead of sensing visual light radiation, it records heat radiation. This heat radiation goes through the lens and hits a sensor chip just like a visual light camera. But instead of a standard CCD, FLIR has an infrared photodetector, which converts heat energy into electrical signals. And those signals make the thermal image you see. FLIR cameras are so sensitive, they can detect heat radiation as far as a ½ mile up.
This is a pretty standard altitude that we operate at, and this is 1,500 feet. And if you look at the screen, you can see that my partner Phil is zoomed all the way in on the house. We really don't need to be any lower. We can work this call perfectly well at this altitude, day or night.
Nighttime is the peak period for violent crimes. A FLIR patrol can stalk invisibly from above.
When the human eye is less effective in the dark, we're able to operate much higher and ultimately much safer and much quieter by using the thermal imager.
These cops can't see their quarry, but the chances of them blundering in and being shot is reduced when there's a heat-seeking eye directing operations from above.
Okay, the officer leaning over the ditch. Point your gun. That's right where they're at. There's right in front of you, K9 unit, Bill. There you go, right there.
Go ahead, go ahead.
What's almost entertaining a lot of times is to watch them try to hide. Bad guys beware. It's pretty hard to get away from this technology these days.
So, the science of heat is actually pretty cool. It's keeping our communities and our law officers safer. It's discovering the secret of fire, how it works, and how to stop it. See you next time on Cool Stuff.